There we go. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday Eve. Christina, how are you?
I am great. I am so excited to be here.
I know. I've been looking forward to this all day. I just recently, like 2 or 3 days ago, earlier this week, finished Nutcracker Nightmare. And oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. So whatever you want to tell us about your series, your characters, give us a little info on your killer chocolate.
All right. Well, A Christmas Candy Killing is the first in the series. It came out last year, and this is the paperback, which is coming out next week on Tuesday.
Ooh, nice.
And it introduces Hannah and Alex. They are twins in their mid-40s, and they own a mystery bookshop and chocolate shop. And as many may have heard, the chocolates are named after poisons and have names like strychnine strawberry and and things like that. So it is a theme. They are not actually poisoned chocolates. It is just an homage to the mystery element of the bookstore. They both enjoy mysteries, and so they decided that would be a cute way to marry the two businesses together. And so Anna is the chocolatier. She is the expert. Alex can make chocolates. She can help, but she is not the expert like Hannah is. Her forte is more the books. And of course, she's also the one who tends to take the lead in the sleuthing, which is, of course, the first thing that happens in A Christmas Candy Killing when a friend of theirs says that they think they saw a killer off of a true crime show. And then when Alex goes over to get the 911 on that, she finds her friend dead. So that is A Christmas Candy Killing. And in October, on the 17th, we have A Nutcracker Nightmare coming out, and I am so excited about this book. This was my very first book that I'd ever written. I not short story to my credit at that point. So
wow.
Yeah, I sat down, I wrote it, and I was lucky enough to get an agent and get it published. But I just, I felt I left a lot of stuff on the table. And with A Nutcracker Nightmare, I'd learned some things. And so I felt like this one really is another step up. It's, I think, a much tougher mystery to solve. So I do not think it's an easy mystery I honestly think if you figure out who did it, you're a genius or you got lucky.
Oh. I'm not a genius. I did not figure it out.
So it is a tough one. In fact, I think within a month of having to hand in the manuscript to my editor when I had the genius idea to change the killer.
Oh. What came over you that you wanted to change the killer?
I mean, I was happy with who it was, and it was the same person all along who I'd imagined the killer to be. It's a high school reunion. So Alex and Hannah are living in Harrison, Montana, which is not where they grew up. So it is not their high school reunion. It is the reunion of the people in the area, and they have simply been tasked as business owners and members of the local chamber of commerce, whatever, to help out. And so when somebody gets murdered, of course, they are, of course, go into sleuthing mode. And this time, Hannah gets a little more involved than she did with A Christmas Candy Killing. So when I was writing it, I got to the end and I thought, I wonder, what if I changed who the killer is? Because everyone had a motive. And, and so I thought, well, what if I changed it? And I started thinking about it, and it just, I just thought it was like a really kind of a fun change. And I can't say too much about it because then I think I'd give away. So I went to my sister-in-law across the street, and she listened to me give like an extended synopsis of the story. And I gave her both endings. So I gave her the ending with the killer that I already had. And then I said, but I'm thinking of doing this. And she said, it would be okay either way. But she said, I think maybe go with the killer you're thinking about now. And so I did. And I really liked it. I'm so glad I made that change. And yeah, so that was one of those things.
Okay. Couple things. One, I love the covers on the books. Both of them are amazing. Who's doing your covers just has nailed it. They're so fun. And two, if I message you, will you tell me who you had the original killer as?
Yes, I will.
Okay, because I finished it, so I know what happens. And they are both fantastic, yeah, and getting to be the season, so it's perfect. They were fantastic. Before I go any further, I know some people want to say hi, so I'm going to pop over here and put up some comments because people are really excited. There we go. Hey, Bianca. She says, hello, excited to be here. It's so good to see ya.
Hi, Bianca. Bianca and I are actually talking about doing a joint author event here for our book releases. She has a Christmas themed mystery coming out. And so we're talking about doing something together.
You're talking my language, Bianca. I love holiday cozies. I mean, I love,
holiday the cozy I met.
That is so exciting. Hi, Cajun.
Hi, Cajun.
Teresa says hello. Hello. Melissa says hi, everyone. People saying hi to each other. And then Bianca says, anyone seeing video yet? I think we're just coming in a little bit late. Hey,
Regina.
Good to see you. Yeah, gotcha, Bianca. Hey, Cynthia. She says, hello, everyone. Says, haha, Teresa, LOL. If anyone sees video, please write it in the comments. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, yay. Here we are. Hey, Karen. She says, hello. I love, yes, the book covers are fantastic, Bianca. I totally agree. I really like this book. Yeah, it's fantastic. I have it on my list to read in December. So excited to get to it. That is awesome, Cation. You're going to love it. Hey, Paula. I think Paula just got news that she was going to be a published author very recently. Congratulations.
Yes.
I can't wait for you.
Reading her book that's coming out in January right now, Hammers and Homicide, because I'm going to provide a blurb for it, which I'm really excited about because we're in a critique group and I've been reading her next book. And so I'm so excited to read the first one and yeah, love her writing.
She just said to me, I'm so excited to get to it because I have met Paula at Malice. And she and Beth are just the best. So I'm so excited for her. That is amazing, Paula. Congratulations. Jennifer said, hello all. Love the first book. Can't wait for the next one. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that, Jennifer. What was the motivation from your personal life, Christina, for writing the new book?
If we're talking about a Nutcracker Nightmare, when I'm actually just doing some questions for some interviews for the Dollycast tour that I'm going to be doing in October.
Yeah.
And that was one of the questions. And I thought about it and I realized I came up with this when I went out on query to editors, to publishing houses with this. And I thought I was so amazingly creative and original and came up with the idea of a high school reunion because I thought, what a great opportunity to put so many people out there for suspects and real close. And, you have to tie it up pretty quick because they're all in town for a short period of time. And then right after that, when I had started writing it, so I was already like in the actual process of writing book 2. There was a Hallmark mystery that came out with Aurora Teagarden, which was Reunion. And then I read Libby Klein's first book. That is like
Unions Murder.
So
yeah, but there's probably only so many places to bring everybody together like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it is really a lot of fun. So are you full-time writing? How did you said this is the first thing you wrote and you sent it out, and that is amazing. So how did that all come about? Like, what did that look like for you?
So I've been dabbling in writing for quite a few years. I took a creative writing course at our local college, and have wanted to write a book. And then a few years ago, like go like say 2017, I started really concentrating on, getting together an idea for an actual book instead of just kind of just general dabbling. And I started writing one the next year, and I got about 30 pages in, and I felt like I had the core of something, but it wasn't quite right. And so I kind of put it aside. Life got busy, and then the the pandemic started. And I had been working part-time at a library here in town, and that closed for the first while. And so I thought, well, I really have nothing to do, so I might as well just go out into my she shed and write. And
I love
so
it.
sat down, I kind of jigged that original idea and got it written in, I mean, that was what the pandemic started, the beginning of April. And by June or July, I had it going out to beta readers.
Wow.
Yeah, quick. And then, polished it over the summer and got it out to agents in September. So it was a really fast process. It just all came together. And I mean, I had nothing else to do. We had nowhere to go. So
Right.
there is, right. It was ideal. And so now I am finding it a little more challenging getting that writing time in. I don't work outside of writing anymore. So, you'd think that I would have lots of time, but I mean, right now I've got 4 little grandchildren that are staying with us for 2 weeks. And then next week I go back to their place in Mexico. And so,
wow.
yeah. And so it always seems like there's something. And so even though I tell myself I have all this time to write, in reality, it just doesn't work that way all the time. So yeah, but I am working on, so book 3 for this series, but it's not sold. So if the publisher decides that there aren't enough sales, then it will not come into being, unfortunately. And I am so excited. I had the first 3 chapters critiqued by my writing group. And Paula is one of those. So she's read them. And I feel like I'm just so excited. I want to write it. It's going to be really heavy on the Christmas stuff in that book. And just a fun cast of characters. And so I'm really excited and hoping that the publisher buys it and I get to write it. I mean, I've done the rough first draft, but I'm really hoping. So, and then I'm working on something else. I've got a new project that I'm working on. So.
Oh, I know you may not be able to say, but I'm just going to ask you one question. Is the new project involve amusement parks? You can just wink if it does. Otherwise, just
no amusement.
Okay. All right. Well, then I will wait, but I'm very excited about a new project. I know that people are going to love the second book and that you're going to I know there's going to be a third book because this series is so fantastic. I just know it. I do have to ask, continuing on the writing, are you a pantser or are you a plotter?
You know what? I am a mix. I started out like needing to have an outline. And then with book 1, I only followed that outline about 50%. So I had a few ideas, but I kind of half pantsed it. With book 2, The Nutcracker Nightmare, I totally plotted that thing out. I had an outline. I stuck more or less to it. I mean, I changed the killer at the end. I mean, you always have changes, but I mean, the overall, that book was very much based on an outline. Book 3, I had I always had the core of the idea and kind of where I wanted it to go and who the killer was, but I really started writing the first draft with only a rough outline. So it really is a little bit. It just depends on the book. Sometimes yes, sometimes what can I say? I've
coined the term saggy pantser.
Yes, that is
so me. I love it. And I kind of know that when somebody is going to say that, like just based upon the books I've read and how many interviews I've done, because I feel like people who do a mixture, the reason I can tell is because I feel like for me, their writing style flows in a way like that I enjoy reading their style the best for me, because I feel like they've kind of let the book guide them.
Yeah.
as opposed to just the outline. And I think people do it best both ways really well. Don't get me wrong. But I think when people do a combination, those are the books that I tend to love the most. So I can always tell what someone's answer is going to be because I'm like, oh, yeah, I thought so.
Nightmare, even though I had a more of an outline in that one, there were so many things that I just, I always think about them before I go to sleep, and it'd be like an idea would pop into my head for something fun, and new. And so I don't ever feel like I'm stuck or married to. So if the creative juices go in another direction, then that's the way we're going. So, yeah.
Are any of the characters in your books based upon real people, including the victims? But you don't have to say, you can just, just.
In the book that is as yet not purchased, I will say that the victim is based on a real.
Oh my gosh, I never expect people to say that. That is incredible. I love it.
And I say that, and it is loosely based on, but nonetheless, yes, there is someone I have in mind.
That is too funny. I think that's I never expect someone to say that. They're very, every once in a while. I think that's really amazing. I've had authors tell me that the reason that authors, mystery writers particularly, have long marriages is because when they get mad at their spouse or their partner, they can just kill them in the book and then they feel better. I'm like, well, I suppose if that works for you.
I offer my spouse to test things out. So in the book, if there's like something that I do that requires some activity of moving bodies or anything, I have tested.
No.
I literally made him lie on the floor in our hall and tried to drag him because I needed to know how hard it is to drag a full grown man. Is it possible?
Oh my God, that's too funny.
Yeah.
That is too funny. I love that. I do have one request. I'm sure your husband is a lovely man. I have no, I'm sure. But the next time you get mad at him, will you just like bring in a tray like with 2 chocolates and say strychnine strawberry?
He does all my creations. So he is the guinea pig for.
Oh, he's a brave man. That's love. That is love.
And I'll be honest, I don't think I could get away with killing him because of,
I don't think he could either.
So he's pretty safe.
Yeah, you might as well just keep him around. That's fine. I think yeah. That's too funny. So you have some victims, or have a victim that's based upon a character. Do you think that do you think you are a character in the books at all? Even just part of you?
Parts of me.
Any one character?
There are little bits of me definitely in Alex and Hannah. But I am not either one of them entirely. So, but there are parts, like Hannah is a little bit more spontaneous. I think she's got a little bit more of a temper that shows, which we haven't really seen a lot. We're seeing a little bit more of that in book 2. And I do have that side to me. I also am the analytical person. I am a former banker, as Alex is. And I have been known to do some pretty crazy things without really thinking about the consequences. But I'm not really them. Like, she puts up with a lot more than I would put up with. Yeah. So there are bits and pieces for sure, but not entirely on me, based on me, no. So.
Yeah. Do you read a lot of cozy mysteries?
I read a ton of cozy mysteries. Yes, it is definitely my genre of choice.
Hey.
Some thrillers, like I do have some favorite authors, and I'm trying always new ones. And so I do like thrillers, romance. I used to be a huge romance reader. Now I just read here and there. Fantasy, not so much. I mean, I loved Harry Potter and I have reread those books countless times, but generally fantasy is not my genre. What do they call that now? Women's fiction. Again, I like the lighter side of things, or I like the action, like the political thrillers, the legal thrillers. I like that kind of stuff. But I like the lighter books. Anything that makes me cry or, yeah, I don't want that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Do you normally figure out who the killer is? Do you think you would make a good sleuth yourself?
If I had to put it in a percentage, I think maybe a quarter of the time I figure out who it is.
Well,
So
that's way more than me. I never do. I've been doing this for a while, so it's not new anymore. But my go-to is I suspect everybody. I don't care who you are. Tell you, show me an alibi. You're on my suspect list because that's the only way I can get it right.
yeah,
But
and
I do pride.
the
I'm
less
sorry, go ahead.
I've done it, the more likely I am to suspect you. So
Yeah. I do pride myself on being able to figure out who the victim is. I'm like, as soon as somebody's mean and a cozy, I'm like, oh, you're going down. Because
yes,
everybody else is so nice.
yes, yes. And so, yeah, victims usually every now and again, I'm surprised, but it's rare. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And
There's been a couple times too, I'm like you, where I've been surprised, but it is rare. I don't know. I thought I would make a good sleuth until I started reading mysteries and then never figured them out. But also I think, like, Alex sometimes has to be pretty brave in those situations. I'm like Scooby-Doo. Like, I think we should leave this to professionals and let's go hang out over there. Like,
well, I'm going to jump in. When I was a kid, so I mean, less than a teenager, so, maybe like 11, I was up in bed asleep. My parents are in their room with the door closed, and I heard noises coming from down in the kitchen. I thought, okay, has someone broken in? And right, I'm the only one because I don't sleep so soundly. Even as a kid, I didn't sleep soundly. I thought I've got to protect my family. So I snuck down the stairs and in through the hall and into the kitchen to discover that someone had accidentally put the radio on, like the alarm on, so that the like at like 3 a.m, and that was what I was saving my family from. But I did go down, and yeah.
wow, even at that age, I was not. That's brave. That's really brave. I would have been like,
some would say too stupid to live.
well, maybe in a fictional world. Yeah. Ooh, that's a lot.
Person, in the thrillers where they're saying, "Don't open the door, don't open the door," opening the door. So.
There's that commercial where they're making a parody of scary movies, and they're running like towards the guy who's holding the chainsaw, and he's like rolling his eyes, like, so funny.
Yeah.
Hey, gamer wants to say hello. Cation says, did you ever go back and change the clues when you changed the killer?
Oh yeah, when you change the killer, you have to change a number of things. So yeah, for sure. Even A Christmas Candy Killing, it had numerous rewrites because I did a little rewriting, where I dropped some characters and then had to change the killer, but that was kind of earlier on. And then when it went to my agent, she asked for some changes, which required some serious rewriting. And then when it went to my publisher, they also asked for some rewriting. So it was actually my editor who requested that it be twin sleuths. And
okay.
It was Alex and Hannah, but Hannah was her best friend. And Duncan was originally Hannah's brother. And so when I made the change to twin sleuths, I made Duncan, I took him into another family. So I had to connect him somehow. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is, always a lot of rewriting for sure.
And I'm sure that's all that's just a normal part of the process. There's so much more to the process, as a reader, until I started getting more into where I talk to a lot of authors, you think they write the book, they put it out, but then there's so much in between, how many rewrites, but also just like whether they get to name the book, whether they get to, help with the cover design and there's so much more than I think a lot of people I know more than I realized until I really got into it and started talking to people for sure.
Yeah. It's quite a process, and a lot of it is behind the scenes that I don't even have much to do with. It's all on the publishing side. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into a book, which is why it takes, like, I mean, ours come out pretty quick from the time that I hand them in. It's about a year, and that in the publishing industry is actually pretty quick. So
speaking of that, were you able to pick your titles? Were you able to give examples and they pick like 1 to 3? How did that all work?
So they do ask for title ideas, and as well as descriptions of what you'd like on the cover, or ideas for what should be on the cover. With the titles, I usually try and come up with around 10. And of course I have my working title, which is also an option. They did not use my working title for A Christmas Candy Killing, which was, I think it was Chocolates Wrapped in Murder.
Ooh.
So that was my working title. And then they came up with A Christmas Candy Killing. That was not one of the ones that I had suggested. And then for A Nutcracker Nightmare, I, having learned a little something in the process of writing a book, put a nutcracker into the story so that I could use that in the title. And so they ended up using a portion of one of my titles. So
gotcha. That was smart.
Yeah. So yeah, you learn as you go, and yeah. So A Nutcracker Nightmare is, I consider it my title. It was a partial of one of mine. So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's smart. But it is cozy. Gotcha. Well, I love holiday cozy. So Bianca.
Yeah.
Sonia says, hello, bestie. Hi, Sonia. She says, nice to meet you, Christina. I'm excited to read your books. Yes.
Thank you.
What is the title of your Christmas book coming out? Yeah, do let us know for sure. Regina says, I can't wait for book 2. It's so good. I'm so happy. So excited for it. Cajun, A Fort Steele Christmas, cozy romance, and a little bit of mystery. Excellent, Bianca. Cajun says, thanks. Paula says, thanks. Yeah, it is really exciting. Libby Klein was my first thought when you said high school reunion, but I've read a few more too, and they were also different. They didn't remind me of each other, that if that makes sense. I agree.
Yeah.
Even though there was those kind of same things going on. It's like everybody has festivals, but all the festivals are so different. You don't think of it as like, oh, this person just did this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they totally work.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I had that idea long before before that Aurora Teagarden mystery came out on Hallmark, and before I'd read Libby Klein's, and I love Libby Klein's. So
I do love the Poppy McAllister series too. And I think it's different because Christine, like you did mention, Christina and Alex didn't go to school there. So, it's not like their high school reunion where they have a lot of feelings about the about the other students. Right. They're just, in the town and providing the, refreshments and whatnot. So.
Initially, they really are just observers. And then of course they get drawn in, which once you read the book, you'll see why. So
yeah.
And yes, Paula, it's amazing how, you can have a whole bunch of authors coming up with similar ideas. I've seen that when you go to the bookstore and you see similar titles and kind of topics of, fiction books. But yeah, that is true. It just is funny the way that works.
Absolutely. Wow. A lot of us couldn't write during the pandemic, even with nothing to do. LOL. So that's awesome. Now we have a new book of yours to read. I know. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Paula said, book 3 is going to be fantastic. And I have no doubt you'll get a contract. I agree. Now I haven't read book 3, but based upon book 2, I know that you will. I just... Oop. I can totally understand wanting to do an outline for a mystery. Keeping all the clues and suspects in order.
Yeah. And that is kind of the big thing for me is, yeah. And I mean, I still go back and I write it and then go back and plant clues and red herrings and make, a lot of adjustments in the revision phase of it. So.
Yeah. Saggy pants. I know. I want to coin the terms, Paula. The victim identity. I know. I think that's amazing. Totally love it. I love you dragging your husband down the hall. Your husband, gosh bless him. I mean, goodness, that is love right there.
Well, in the last book, I had to create a scene from the book and to test it out. And he actually had to take a bit of a tumble unknowingly. And thankfully, his bones aren't brittle. So he's a really good sport about everything.
Yeah. Brave, willing. I mean, it's just it's a total package there. That's pretty amazing. I agree. I read for fun and relaxation. I want fluff and cozy. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not alone with that, Tiffany, because I'm so bad at guessing the killer. You are not alone, Cynthia. You are not alone. Yeah.
Some of those they're tough. Like, I mean, they really are. I mean, you see afterwards when they say who it is, it's like, oh, why didn't I get that? But yeah.
Yes. So a little bit on the same line. If, gosh forbid, something happened to you that was nefarious, like somebody took you out, who would you want to solve your crime? From the fictional world, from a book or a TV show or movie, any detective, who would you want to avenge your murder? Knock on wood that we're all,
If it's TV, I would definitely pick Aurora Teagarden from the Charlene Harris series.
Okay.
He's got a little bit of grit to her that I feel like, she really wants to put them away. She feels invested in making them pay. So yeah. And from the fictional, and I mean, she's also a book, right? I mean, that series is Charlene Harris's book, and I enjoy that series too. So yeah, I think I would pick Aurora Teagarden. If just off the top of my head, that would be, yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. That is that, especially as a child. Christina, who is your cover designer and where did you find them? Was it through the publisher? They are fantastic.
Yes. So it is Marianne Lasher, and that is somebody that is all chosen by the publisher. I have nothing to do with that, other than they do send me usually like a pencil sketch of it early on, and to see if there's anything that's maybe not quite right or whatever, if I have any suggestions. But when I saw both of them, to be honest, I really didn't have anything to say. I just said I loved them because they were both very, very much in line what my vision was, and I loved it. Marianne Lasher, I hope I have her for every cover. She's great.
Yeah, I agree. Fantastic. I really do. Murder chocolates. I know. And I think you've done, Christine, I think you've done so many cool things with the killer chocolates concept, because I showed it, but at Malice, you give away those little books.
Yes.
That had like the chocolate. And that is like the most amazing, like advertisement for your specific book. That was genius. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, she had the cover of her book as a little holder for a piece of chocolate. I actually have it put away.
I've got one fairly close by.
They are the most genius thing. And it's awesome. The little cover. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see them. They're fantastic.
So I can't claim the for doing it. My sister-in-law is better at Photoshop than I am, but there it is. That in the camera.
Yeah, there you go. Isn't that cool?
And then it is a little lint chocolate that wrapped.
I think that's genius. That was a great idea. That was fantastic. Yeah. Hey, Lou.
Hi.
Good evening. It is so awesome to see how different authors take the same idea and wrote so many different fun books. I agree.
Yes.
Melissa said, I'm looking forward to reading book 2. Oh, Melissa,
yes. And I encourage everybody, I know books are expensive and they come out in hardcover, which is not cheap. So if it's not in your local library, please consider requesting it in your local library. So
yeah, absolutely.
Libraries are.
She said, thankfully his bones aren't brittle. She's talking about you, talking about your husband.
Yeah, it is good because
That is too funny.
yeah.
Honestly, though, no notes. The covers are stunning. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, Marianne Lasher is amazing for cozy. I mean, I think I don't know if she does other types of genres, but she is just fabulous for creating cozy covers. So
Yeah.
amazing.
The book cover for the chocolates is just, I know, it's really adorable. It was really a genius marketing idea. So I always ask this question because I'm doing it as a favor to you. Well, I have two questions. One's because of me and my selfishness, and one's to help you out. Okay. So the first one is the one to help you out. If Hallmark called you tomorrow and said, we want to make Killer Chocolates into a movie, who would you want to play some of the main roles? Now, I'm sure Hallmark wants your feedback in this. I get that, but I just want you to be prepared. I'm asking you so that you're, ready.
Oh, and you know what? The funny thing is, I do not know a lot of today's TV actors and actresses. Like, I don't watch a ton of TV. Like, I've got a few favorite shows that I watch, but I would have a hard time picking out. I think Alex and Hannah would be a tough one for me because the actors in that age range, I'm just not familiar with a lot of them. I would love to see, well, like someone like, the one she played, Amy, she played the Cinderella or whatever in real life, like not Cinderella, but like the character that comes out of the storybook. Amy Adams,
Oh,
Amy Adams, something like that. Someone who's got, yeah. But yeah, I mean, and they're twins, right? So unless they rewrote it, no, have twins. Like that's tricky.
The twins are tricky.
Yeah. So, and I know there are sibling actors out there, but I don't know if there's a lot of twins. So.
You know who I think should be the sisters? They're not twins, but I think the Dashanells
Yes.
would be really good.
Yes.
And they do look quite a bit alike to me.
Yeah.
Even though they're not,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a strong family resemblance.
But well, it's always good to know because you never know when that call is going to come in.
Yes. Yeah. And just in case everybody's wondering, in A Nutcracker Nightmare, so when you read it, the inspiration for the bartender is Tom Cruise.
Like from Cocktail?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is totally who I pictured. In fact, I did like a board, a Pinterest board type of idea. So on my phone, had a whole bunch of pictures of who I pictured for the different roles. And he was the inspiration for the bartender because Tom Cruise, so if you listen and the description, if you kind of read it and you kind of, I am describing Tom Cruise.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I can see. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Sound great. If you're not, sorry, but
the other question that's for me is, I know you said you're working on a new idea that doesn't involve an amusement park, but hear me out. Somebody's gonna just, marinate on this idea. An amusement park cozy or traveling carnival cozy. There's a lot of ways that you could kill somebody at an amusement park. I'm just saying.
Immediately the Ferris wheel comes to mind.
Yeah. The Ferris wheel, a vat of cotton candy, the love tunnel, they always have the dark tunnel thing, ride. Telling you, it writes itself.
Yes.
It practically writes itself.
This is true, actually. Yeah. And you still have your small community because even though they travel, it's the same, group of people that are, and because you're going to a new town all the time, you've got those
new people. You don't got the Cabot Cove.
Right.
See? I
You're
mean, somebody needs to take me up on the idea. I mean, it's pure genius. We're writing gold right here. I feel like we've written half the novel. We're
yeah,
plotting as we speak.
yeah. I could have that outline done like by Monday. Yeah.
Hey, Bianca. Somebody's gonna do it. I just know it. I just know it.
Yeah.
Bianca said, I love Amy Adams. Ooh, did
Yeah.
you ever post your mood board anywhere, like on Facebook? I want to see it.
I haven't. I have it like on my Canva uploads. So every time I go into Canva, I've got all the pictures there. Because I think I did what do you call those? Like for Instagram, like one of those little reels. And
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I used it. I'm trying to make sure I think I published it. Sometimes I make these reels and then I forget and I never end up publishing them. But I think I did publish it, and it kind of showed like brief snippets of all the different, my vision for a bunch of the characters and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I should do a mood board for my characters on Pinterest.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome if people shared, like if authors did share it, you could like see what the authors were thinking in their heads, like as far as the like Tom Cruise and all that. That'd be really cool. They said, I mean, I wouldn't be mad Tom Cruise serving me a drink. I agree. I know it's gonna happen. I just know the more I say it, the more I'm wishing it into the world, you see.
Yes. So now
Go for it.
I'm gonna have to give you credit if I write this book now with the carnival theme. I'll have to give you credit. So you'll have to be in the acknowledgments at least.
That's all I need. If you give me, I'll be happy with just the series. So, take it as you wish and run. That would be amazing, Cynthia. That would be absolutely amazing. So I know you normally go to Malice. Do you do a lot of other in-person things as far as conventions? Do you have any coming up through the rest of this year? What is that looking like for you?
So here in Alberta, we really don't have a ton of stuff. There was one in Calgary recently where Vicky Delaney did go to. I think it's right or something. Words Collide. I think I was not around. I think I was in Ontario or something. It just didn't work. I wasn't able to go, which I was kind of sad about. But Malice, I went to for the first time this past year, and then I've actually signed up for Left Coast Crime in.
Oh.
So Left Coast Crime is being held in Seattle or just outside of Seattle, and I thought I can drive to that. So I'm going to be going there instead of Malice in 2024. And other than that, I don't have anything lined up. Like around here, I would love to do more stuff, but we are very spread out. So the next closest place to Lethbridge, which is kind of the city closest to us, is Calgary. And then Edmonton. And I don't know people there. And so, it's hard to get any kind of, momentum when you don't know anybody really in the cities that you're going to. And of course, I'm so grateful that Bianca reached out to me because there's, not a ton of authors locally that, I can do events with. So I'm quite excited for this event coming up in Lethbridge to launch our Christmas books. So,
and tell everybody, like, what do you have a date and where that can be, just in case somebody's close? We have people from Canada that do watch for sure.
It'll be at Analog Books, which is an independent bookstore in Lethbridge.
Cool. That's awesome.
They even have a bookstore cat named Hugo, which is really cool.
Love that.
So that's where it'll be. We're tossing around dates in November. So just to capitalize on the whole Christmas theme, and as I'm away in Mexico until the middle of October. So yeah. And so I mean, if Mechanic Bookstore in Pennsylvania or, one of these places reached out to me, I would probably go and do something, but so far that hasn't happened. So.
Gotcha. I do want to try Left Coast Crime one of the years. I've heard fantastic things about it, but Malice and Left Coast Crime are so close together.
Yes.
I would go to both, but they're like almost within the same month and sometimes are in the same month. And I don't think my employer would give me that much time off. I mean, like I have that much time, but all together like that. But I've heard great things about Left Coast. That is awesome.
Yeah. So, and that's why I thought, just because Left Coast is so close to me this year, yep, I thought I've got to take advantage of that. And plus, my husband is a huge Bigfoot fan.
Oh,
and so even though I don't think he'll come with me, but I mean, you know, I'm sure he'll want me to bring back Bigfoot souvenirs. So
that is awesome.
yeah.
What was I going to ask you about? So next year BoucherCon is in Nashville, but I think the year after that I saw it was going to be in Toronto.
Really?
Or Alberta. I'm pretty sure next year is Nashville, but I think the year after that BoucherCon is in Canada.
Well, if they come to Canada, I will be going to BoucherCon because love to, but it's always far away for me. And if it's in Canada, I would love to go there because I have a brother that lives near Toronto. So that is where I'm originally from. So I will from in that area. So I would definitely go.
I hope I didn't speak out of my.
It doesn't matter. Even
my mouth.
If it's in Canada or even
okay. It's not in 2025. I saw it somewhere in coming to Canada. Oh, okay. 2026. It's in Calgary. 2025 is in Louisiana, which it was scheduled in Louisiana one year when there was a hurricane. Yeah. And they canceled it. So 2024 is Nashville, 2025, and then 2026, cross-border crimes, Calgary, Alberta.
I will be there.
Yeah. I knew I saw that.
Yes. Unless that killer has taken me out, I will be there.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Calgary, it's a 2.5 hour drive from here. So.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I'll have one out in 2025 that takes place at a county fair with a carnival. Does that count? Yes, it does. Absolutely, Paula.
Perfect.
Sometime in November at Analog Books in Lethbridge. Nice. Yeah. That's that event you were talking about. It works for me. Absolutely. I have the first draft done and I think it's a fun one. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
The man deserves all the Bigfoot you can bring home.
Giant Bigfoot attached to the back of our fence at the back of the yard. So.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Yeah. He believes. Yeah. His uncle saw him, but Bigfoot. Yeah. So they are a believing family. That is
hilarious. I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. He should totally go and do like one of those tours or one of those, you know.
Yep.
You might not get to bring him back, but you know.
Well, Bigfoot's practically family in his family.
So. Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. That is going to be awesome. And Paula lives, she lives in Washington State. And so for her, that wouldn't be all that far to go either.
That's perfect. The other thing, what was I was going to ask you something else about upcoming events. Oh, in December, which I know everybody's got a lot going on. I don't have exact dates, but it'll be at the beginning because too much happens towards the middle and beyond that. But I normally always the last 2 years have done a Christmas live where I have several authors come on and I just call it like a cozy mystery author live. And I have the author talk about how their characters spend the holidays. What do they celebrate? How do they celebrate? What are their traditions? What are their recipes? Stuff like that. If you'd be interested, I'd love to have you as one of the guests.
Would love to be there.
That is awesome. And really that's all we talk about. We just kind of play game, have fun. And it's always fun to hear what they think that their characters, how they would celebrate. Like I said, you know, and I've been trying to get people who have kind of like all different types of characters as far as diversity or maybe different holidays that they celebrate. So I think it's going to be great. And I will definitely keep you updated because I'd love to have you.
All right.
Awesome. Well, so coming up, your book is October what?
October 17th for A Nutcracker Nightmare.
October 17th. You can pre-order it now. Ask your libraries to get it because we need to make sure she gets a third book.
please. Yeah,
Really?
libraries
I know
actually
it is.
huge part of sales for these books because they're hardcover, and libraries, of course, like hardcover books because they last longer. So yeah, so please ask your local library if they don't already have it to get the physical copy if you can. I know Paula just said to me recently that their library had the ebook, but she requested the physical book, and I think they agreed and said that they would bring it in. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Hey, Barbara. It's good to see you. Yes, because and I know I have no doubt that there will be a very long standing series. I just feel it because it's fantastic.
well, it is just so much fun to write. I really, I have to say, it is just a joy to write the characters and to kind of get them to develop and add, the new ones every book, a few new people to, you know, widen the suspect pool because you can't kill off all your regulars. So
Right. That's true. I already pre-ordered, and October 17th is my sister's birthday. That is a great day, Regina. That is
yes,
awesome. I already tagged number 2 at my library, so hopefully they'll get it.
awesome. Thank
Love it. Can't wait for the 3rd book. We know. I know it's coming. And one, I'm gonna see if you'll send me who you thought who was the original killer in number 2.
Yeah.
And if at any point you want to share with the world what your second project is,
Yeah.
I'm already wanting to read it. It's already on my TBR. I just don't know what it is. So
it is it's a crossover. So as in the vein of Finlay Donovan's books. So
okay.
it is not obviously exactly the same, but it is in that kind of general vein. So lots of humor. Hopefully people think it's funny. And yeah, and just a really kind of mishmash of a little hint of thriller, some cozy mystery elements for sure, and yeah, maybe just a tad of romance. So
we call we have a Discord group, we call ourselves Killing Time with Cozies. Our Killing Time with Cozies group, we call those cozy adjacent.
yes,
That's
yes,
cozy adjacent.
yes.
I love it.
So yeah, still, I mean, it's still going to hit like none of no big swear words, no, super graphic violence, but it will, it'll be a little bit darker. It does, touch on a little bit darker, but I'm hoping that by keeping the humor in it and stuff, it keeps it lighter, kind of like that Finlay Donovan feel, Dial A for Aunties, that type of, yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. That's going to be fantastic. Do you have like any dates on that, or is that just
that is a project I am working on, and once I get the manuscript done, then it goes to my agent, and then she'll see if she can sell it to whether it's my current editor or someone else, but she'll put that out there. So yeah, I need to stop going to Mexico and and stuff.
And you got to see those grandbabies. I mean,
I know, and they're still so cute because they're little, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, once they get older, no, I'm kidding. No. And you seem to be able to write like when you have that time to sit down to because that's when I kind of stray from. When I have the time is when not I don't write, but I'm just saying to do anything. Then I start like thinking of 10,000 things I could do all at once and not focus on just. You sound like you're like laser, like this is the time. So you'll be fine.
Yeah, and I do write in Mexico, so yeah. So I will get it done. I am focused on making this happen. So
that is awesome. That is awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough. This was so much fun. And honestly, book 2 was fantastic. It was so good.
So much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So, and I will not forget, as soon as I end the pod or the YouTube, I will message you who that was. So
yes, I really do want to know. And I'll keep you updated on the holiday Cozy Mystery Author Live. I would love that.
Awesome. Looking forward to that too.
All right. Well, everybody have a great night. Oh, sorry. I did not ask. Where can Instagram?
Yes.
So where do you prefer people to reach out to you?
my favorite place is Instagram. That
Okay.
is I am also active on Facebook. Both of them are Christina Romeril Writer. But definitely my preferred place is Instagram. I am on I am on TikTok too, but I don't do much there. And then I am on Twitter, but again, or X as they call it now, but I'm not in there as much. Instagram is where I'm at, and Facebook as well are the best places to reach me. And of course I have a website, but for sure, Instagram, if you want to message me, I always respond. So
there you go. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody. Have a great night and talk to you later. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Christina.
Thank you.